Yes, Diana. What do you think about racism in America?
I think it's prevalent. I think everyone kind of hates each other right now, and everyone's walking on eggshells. You want to click that button?
Look at him, Diana. He said he wants some chips or something.
Yeah, chips and French onion dip.
As a black man, if I chose to date black women and I say I would never date a white woman, would that make me a racist?
No, that's your preference.
Do you have any comment on that?
No, it's people's preference. You don't have to like someone because of what race they are. Like, you just find people sexy. Some people find big women like me sexy. There's a whole website dated to big and beautiful women. The bigger the better, the more rolls the better.
BBW, right?
BBW.
There you go.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter race, or some people like one-legged hookers, some people like people with meth mouth. It doesn't matter. Everybody likes what they like.
Okay, so I'm hearing rumors like in most cases when a white woman would date a black man is because of his
I think they're sprawled
penis.
between my
Is that-
house,
is
so you
that-
gotta
do think
check
it's a
which one
fact?
you want.
No, the first time I dated a black guy I was 16. His name was Anthony.
What was the difference between a black guy and a Caucasian guy since you've been dating since you dated both?
Nothing really, except for their hair product. You know, we all put our shoes on the same way. Sometimes the black people
So you
food's
didn't like
better.
that, right? So you wouldn't mind me because mine is natural.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. There's not really
Does
a
it
big
bother you, the hair
difference.
product?
The what?
Does it bother you, the hair product?
No. I have to put hair product in my baby's hair.
So you're saying that the differences between a black man and a Caucasian man is just the hair product?
No, sometimes that. Sometimes cultures are different. Families are really different. I feel like I love being white. I don't have a problem with white people at all. I grew up in a family where our family wasn't really close-knit. We didn't really have... I didn't see my cousins or my aunts and uncles. All my black friends, they knew their aunts, their great aunts, their cousins, their second cousins, their third cousins. You know, it's family. They just seem so much more thick.
So now, when you mentioned culture, right? So when you said culture, what did you mean? Do you know anything about black people's culture in America? Since you know about your culture, being a Caucasian woman, are you Caucasian, or do you have anything I should know about your background? Is there anything I should know about your background?
We're Welsh, Irish, Scottish, and German.
I gotta find my sweater.
Okay, so that's
So all
Caucasian.
white.
Absolutely. So now, what? I mean, do you know anything about black people's culture over here in America?
Yeah, I've heard about Kwanzaa, and I've heard about civil rights. I'm not a black person. I can't claim to know it like they know it.
Would you categorize civil right as a culture?
I would. I don't know. I think I definitely would. I think that the struggle that people have been through in the black community is definitely real. I think some of the racism that's real, the racial profiling is real. But especially for the people who went through the civil rights in the 50s and 60s and coming in through parts of the 70s, there was such a big movement that people felt. And recently I just watched the Martin Luther King movie. And Selma. And I'd never seen the video. They don't show that in school. They don't show what they went through when they marched across the bridge and the people were fighting them. And you've seen some of the other movies, like about Medgar Evers.
Are you saying when they were protesting?
When they were protesting.
Okay.
There is a culture there. It's all those people who fought for those rights for everybody. They didn't just fight for black people.
I would categorize the civil rights movement as a revolution, not a culture. Because culture has everything to do with your language, your belief.
But think about who did the civil rights and who was the main focus of it. It was African Americans.
Willie gets to be an asshole when he starts talking about black people.
As a civil woman, do you think that you have right
Right for what?
or human rights?
Yeah,
Civil rights.
I do. I don't
Okay.
think that my rights are I think the way the world's set up is men are always going to think they're better than us, being a woman. I think that you guys are always going to think that you have the place to tell us what we can and can't do with our bodies.
That's
Think about-
sexism.
That's sexism.
But now we're talking about racism, correct?
Racism.
Okay, so with racism, we're gonna say this. Here's my question to you. Being that you say that the civil rights movement was part of the black people culture, and I just asked you if you believe that all the human beings, all the civil people have rights, and you say yes. So would you say that civil rights apply to everyone, or only black people in America?
I feel like the beginning of the civil rights movement was for black people in America, but I think it opened doorways for everybody. I think it helped everybody understand that, hey, it's okay to be Muslim, it's okay to be Rastafarian, it's okay to be Mormon, it's okay to be Christian. It opened up the doors for people to be a little bit more accepting, and
So
that's
now we're talking about religion dissidence, correct?
right. No, I'm
The right to choose religion.
right, but I'm also saying that the civil rights was a movement, and it is the black culture. The youth have to understand what went through, what their grandparents went through and their parents went through, to make it okay for them to have decisions now. Because you guys had your rights taken away, and people fought and they died so that black people can have rights now. And I don't think people always understand that. White, black, Mexican, it doesn't matter. Today's youth doesn't understand that it wasn't just to have freedom, it was to be accepted and have rights and be able to make decisions on your own and be able to sit at the lunch counter or sit in the front of the bus, get better wages, have jobs that you want, be able to date who you want. And they made that right for all of us. I do think it is part of their culture.
So now, being that black people had all their rights taken away from them,
You got bunny ears. You got bunny ears, Willie. You got bunny ears, silly Willie. You could be silly Willie.
Look, it's Little Miss Happiness here.
It's messing me up.
I'm positive.
I was
HIV.
over there trying to hump the other one.
All right. I think we're gonna have to do this
Stop saying
another time.